An ambassador is the highest-ranking diplomatic officer. The government chooses an ambassador to represent it in a foreign country or in front of an international group. Ambassadors' main jobs are to keep up diplomatic ties with the country they're sent to, and to promote foreign policy strategies through international organizations. Ambassadors are in charge of making sure their country's citizens living in another country are safe. They also try to build and keep strong diplomatic and economic ties with other countries and run the whole embassy. It's unfathomable that the United States would spend 2 full years without an ambassador in India. Since January 2021, the home designated for the United States ambassador in New Delhi has been left empty. The United States State Department made the announcement in October that they will be appointing another Chargé d'affaires for India, despite the fact that sending a full-time ambassador to the nation is still being held up in the Senate. A full-time US envoy is important for both New Delhi and Washington at a time when the relationship between India and the US has taken a definitive turn. This is because India and the US are strengthening their strategic ties as part of Quad, a group of 4 countries that also includes Japan and Australia. The US wants to use its partnership with New Delhi to counter China. In April of this year, Donald Blomé was sent to Pakistan as an ambassador by the Biden administration. Peter Haas was sent to Dhaka in December 2021, while Julie Chung started working at the US Embassy in Sri Lanka in February of this year, and in October, the president sent Dean R. Thompson to Nepal as an ambassador. In Washington, there is no lack of chatter underlining India's significance to the United States. The United States Department of State has described its relationship with India as an indispensable partner, and President Joe Biden has called the relationship between the United States and India one of the most significant in the world. If the United States considers India to be an essential ally, then why has it let the office of ambassador to India go unfilled for over 2 years now? Why ambassadors are important. According to the contents of a book titled Historic Conversations on Life with John F. Kennedy, the late President of the United States of America, John F. Kennedy, and his wife Jacqueline, did not get along well with Jawaharlal Nehru and his daughter, Indira Gandhi, during their meetings in November of 1961. On November 19, 1962, Nehru wrote to President John F. Kennedy, asking for military help for India. John Kenneth Galbraith was the American ambassador in India in 1962, when China invaded India. Galbraith, who was friends with both President John F. Kennedy and Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, was a key figure in getting the US to help India's military. The United States saw the Chinese attack as the most worrying thing that had happened since the Korean War 10 years before. As a result, Kennedy quickly responded to New Delhi's call by airlifting essential supplies for the Indian Army, and the next steps were quickly talked about. But there was also a Pakistani side to it. Pakistan, which was a close US ally at the time, saw that China's attack on India gave it a unique chance to step in, take over Kashmir, and end this problem for good. J.K. Galbraith, the US ambassador in New Delhi, saw this as military blackmail and told Washington, "For God's sake, leave Kashmir out of this." In response, Washington pressured Pakistan to stop by reminding President Ayub Khan that Pakistan was part of the US anti-communist alliance, and that the US would not let him use a communist Chinese attack on India to his advantage. Khan finally agreed, but he never forgot what he saw as a huge betrayal by the US. Galbraith changed how Indians saw the United States, and helped bring Kennedy and Nehru closer together. China is the US's biggest problem right now. It needed India to do something about China's growing power and military dominance in the Indo-Pacific. America and India are getting closer because they both have to deal with China. In the last 10 years, both Republican and Democratic administrations have made India an important part of the US plan to keep China in check. The National Defense Strategy Report from the Biden administration says that India should be given more tools to stop China from being aggressive and to ensure free and open access to the Indian Ocean region. Rarely do both parties agree on something, so the fact that the US doesn't have an ambassador in India is even more surprising.